Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2. And I'm back with a brand new episode, guys. Part 4 of What If Naruto Was a Villain in the DC Universe. Remember to get this one too. 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, guys, I posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto Had the Power of Kratos and Thor over on Anime King 3. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy. And don't forget, if you have an idea and you want it to be posted by me, simply go ahead and comment on any of the latest posts and I'll jot them down for future use. So without further ado or wasting more time, don't forget to turn on the bell notification. How about we jump right into this? Let us begin the intro, guys. So, to do a bit of a recap for the last part that we left off, the world was still talking about Naruto a lot. However, he made his way to pay Lex Luthor a visit. Lex threw everything he had at Naruto, everything, even his secretary. They tried to hold him off, they tried to stop him, but Naruto walked in rather casually. However, he was not here to kill Lex. In his own messed up way, Lex has done wonders for this world to prove that he was a better man than Superman, and Naruto wanted to prove that. Thus, Naruto empowered him, making him as fast as strong, special in his own way. Lex found himself rather shocked as Naruto left, wanting nothing in return. Lex spent the next 5 days learning his limits and learning everything about himself. But his jealousy won out. When Superman was busy saving a building, Lex attacked. He wanted to use his abilities to kill Superman to prove that he was superior, as Lex seemed to be more powerful than ever, until Naruto arrived, telling him that he failed his tests, pointing out that he had everything and yet he gave it all up for revenge, proving that he's nothing better than the rest. Lex tried to attack Naruto with his powers, but Naruto plunged his hand through his chest, killing him, as he simply told him, "I gave you these powers. Do you think you can hurt me with them?" With that, he vanished with Lex's corpse. After which, the media was up in a frenzy about it, but none of them had any physical say on Naruto. But one thing for certain, the villain population had dropped severely. The news coverage had noticed that. As it wasn't often that the world was in a state like this, but it was now. The world was in a state of tranquility. Most weren't even raising their weapons to fight or attack. Even Lois Lane started to question, is Naruto doing good? The League feared that Naruto would snap though. But Wonder Woman and certain others started to shift. On her day off, Naruto paid her a visit, telling her that he was not here to fight. He even went to see her homeland. As he was trying to understand her, she questioned him, as he told her a bit about his world, how people were forced into fighting children from 8 to 12 years old. He explained, his world was filled with ninjas sending children to the battlefield to fight and die, brutal and deadly. She was shocked. Naruto told her that she was different from the other League members. He also seemed to look down towards her bracelet. As he was going to walk away, she tried to stop him, but he questioned her, did she really wanted to stop him? She said no. Batman had been spying on her, as he brought it up in the next League meeting. However, as she spoke, that none of them had anything that could stop Naruto, pointing out that. And she wasn't exactly agreeing with him, but despite Superman saying that heroes don't kill, she said that Amazons did. Atlanteans did when it was necessary. The League was divided. Naruto traveled the world as he discovered a nation, small, and it could not be, well, troubled because of politics. There were so many missing children in the vicinity. So many. As it turns out that children were being used as slaves in super serum programs to inject them with metahuman DNA. When Naruto found out about this, he saved all 127 of them. As he used his clones to get them all to safety, he visited the politicians. They tried to say that Justice League members could not interfere with politics. Naruto proceeded to unleash his power for the first time. The sky darkened as Naruto used a modified version of the planetary devastation. He wiped them all out. He stopped the collision from spreading to other villages, but he committed genocide just like that. And he did not care. Satellite footage captured the impossible feat. Shockwaves spread across the globe. It was a shocker. When the people found out what he did though, why he did what he did, opinions changed even more. As people start to say that the League, what have they done about this? Many wondering if this was mass murder or justice. It was a frenzy. As Superman had something to say, Hawkgirl had said it. What about the children that died? But the power gap was a problem. Naruto was more powerful than they thought. We also get to see someone watching from another dimension above theirs. But Naruto felt it and looked up. A man with white hair and crackling lightning was watching the entire thing. We also get to see a glimpse of Darkseid in the end, as he had his own ambition, his own goals, up to his own things. And Naruto seemed to be wrapped up in the middle of all of it. So yeah guys, basically let's play left off. You guys can switch across the play check of yourself. So what do you say we begin this new episode? The planet of Oa, center of the universe, home of the Guardians, and the headquarters of the Green Lantern Corps. The Guardians of the Universe were ancient immortal beings who has been around for a long time. They've witnessed the rise and destruction of countless civilizations. They were small in stature, pale blue skin, white hair. They appear almost childlike, but their power was absolute. Their knowledge was vast, their purpose singular, to bring order to the cosmos. And for the first time in a long while, they were truly concerned. Hal Jordan, Green Lantern of Sector 2814, Earth Primary Green Lantern, stood in front of the assembled Guardians in the planet's citadel. The chamber was massive as each of them stood on one of their platforms. It was 6 of them. Their expression was grave. Lantern Jordan, one of them, spoke, his voice carrying authority. You have been summoned to explain recent events on your home world. Hal's ring glowed as he floated before them. If this is about Naruto Uzumaki, indeed, one of them answered. Their collective gaze focused on him with an uncomfortable intensity. Days ago, we detected a massive surge emanating from Earth vicinity, a power type and magnitude that we have not encountered in this section of space. A holographic image rose between him and the Guardians. It was Casnia, shown from the satellite footage, as it could be seen rise and crush before dropped. It wasn't just that though. The master over control, as the water did not invade or destroy the neighboring country despite the massive tsunami. This individual, a third Guardian said, show forces that can manipulate conventional physics, geomanipulation, on a continental scale, powered by an energy signature that we cannot fully analyze. We felt it when he first arrived. The first Guardian spoke as he continued. A breach, peering into our dimension. Something crossing from another reality into ours. We attempted to locate the source, but it was shielded the next moment, hidden from even our methods and our sights. Not until recently, when this event took place, that we are aware of the exact location. Hal nodded. He called himself Naruto Uzumaki. He's from another dimension, another world. He's been executing criminals that the Justice League have captured, saying that they don't deserve redemption because they will not change. Execution. One of the Guardians said. There was not approval but understanding in their tone. A permanent solution to a recurrent threat. Yes, Hal said. He killed the Joker, Lex Luthor, dozens of Gotham worst villains, and he destroyed an entire government because they were trafficking and experimenting on children. The Guardians looked at one another as they were communicating in ways that humans could not perceive. The Casnia incident was when his concealment faltered, another Guardian said. The sheer magnitude of power required to split the landform. It is the first time that he exerts that much power since arriving here. And at this moment we fear that is barely a fraction of his full capability, as we weren't able to detect the maximum output from it. And his intentions, another one said. It is clear from what we can see, Hal said. He's eliminating threats that we, as he say, are too soft to handle. He think our methods are failure because the villains end up escaping. An assessment, another Guardian said, that is not entirely without merit. Hal blinked at that. You're agreeing with him? We are acknowledging reality. The Green Lantern Corps operate under specific protocols. We apprehend criminals. We deliver them to appropriate authorities, but we do not execute. This is our way. However, another one added, we've observed Earth for some time. Your planet, revolving door for incarcerating for metahuman criminals is unprecedented in its rather large inefficiency. So what are you saying, Hal questioned. The first Guardian spoke up once again. We are saying that this Naruto Uzumaki presents a multifaceted concern. His power, shown so far, are very dangerous, crossing over to our reality, the manipulation of forces, and hiding from us. It is something truly astronomical. But our primary observation does not focus on your Earth politics alone. If you choose to transcend from your planet, to move into a thought of correcting the universe, who would be the threat in his eyes? And what would be the protocol of annihilation? You think he might leave Earth? We do not know his ultimate goal. But what if he decides to judge entire civilization and bring entire world down to their knees? From his manipulation of forces, the possibility of him doing so is quite large. If his guaranteed is to continue down this path, and the Green Lantern Corps protect sentinel life across the cosmos, another Guardian said, we cannot allow a single individual, no matter how powerful, to become the ultimate force of judge across the entire universe. But right now, Hal said, he's only operating on Earth. He's only gone after forces that prove they cannot change as criminals. For now. But that power of magnitude that he shows, unchecked, a sense of righteousness and justice, is something that cannot be allowed to move freely without proper structure or control. For now, return to Earth, Lantern Jordan. Continue monitoring this Naruto Uzumaki. Report any incident of his activities expanding beyond your home world. The Corps will not interfere with the Earth's internal affairs unless he becomes a threat to the entire universe. And if he does, Hal questioned. They looked at each other once again as they seemed to communicate. Then, The full might of the Green Lantern Corps will respond. 7,000 lanterns. 3,600 sectors. We have maintained order in this universe for 3 billion years. We will not allow one dimensional traveler to undo that work. Hal nodded, understood. With that he left. Now there was another question on his mind. Just how strong was Naruto? Hal feared the implication that he might go up against the entire Lantern Corps. Why? Together they were all powerful, and yet he feared that this person was hiding too much. With that though, he returned. Back on Earth, it was days after the incident. The world was different now. So much was going on. News network ran constant coverage. Political analysts debated. Religion leaders condemned and praised his actions. The global thing had shifted from the villain killer exists. Is Naruto Uzumaki right? There was so much. And the answer was getting increasingly yes. Crime has dropped by 40% globally since its appearance. Major crime organizations has dissolved. Supervillains are surrendering to authority, rather be placed in cells than face the wrath of Naruto Uzumaki. However, there were always others that had something to say. But at what cost? We are normalizing executions without trials. We are accepting that one person gets to decide who lives and who dies. Those are monsters. Children traffickers, mass murderers. The Joker alone has killed thousands. The debates stretch endlessly all over as they continue. Meanwhile, the Wonder Woman was on the rooftop of a building in Gateway City. She was deliberately making herself visible. She's been searching for Naruto for days, using every method at her disposal, but finding someone who was able to hide away from the Guardians of the Universe, it seemed rather impossible. That is what she thought. Until you've been looking for me. He was behind her. Diana turned. He stood there. His clothing was casual, jeans and a jacket. His face calm as usual. I want to talk, she said. So talk, said Naruto. Kasnia, she said. The children. Why didn't you bring the government to face justice? Would you? Would I what? She said. He stepped forward. If someone hurt the people of your world, if someone tortured the Amazons, experimented on the daughters of Themyscira, would you bring them in for a trial, or would you end them? That's different, she said. How? My people are warriors. We understand necessary force, but we also understand mercy, justice. Naruto cut her off. Those children were being vivisected. He said, looking at her, cut open, their organs, soul, put through all sorts of hell, and it was done by the government. He said, stepping closer. Is that the reason why you've come here? Said Naruto. Just to go over this once again. She looked unsure though, as Naruto knew that it was not the reason. But he continued. So, I'll ask you again. If the same thing was to happen to the Amazons, would you bring them to trial or simply take care of the threat? She was quiet. She was quiet for a long while. It was indeed not the reason why she wanted to find him once again. She's been struggling on his reasoning lately, making her think all sorts of things, and hearing what happened to those children. It made her wonder, was the League doing the right thing? Something that shocked her. How could one person change her so much in such a short amount of time? with such violent actions because she knew deep down what she would have done. She pulled for her lasso. Naruto made no attempts to stop her as she wrapped it around him, quickly as she did. The lasso of truth, she said. Answer me honestly. What you told me about your world, the children's soldier, the darkness, is it true? She knew that it was true, but once again, this wasn't the reason why she was here. Yes, Naruto said. Are you really doing this just to save the innocent and to wipe out evil? Yes, he said. She paused as she heard his clear answer on that one. What exactly are you, she said. Your power, what is it? For the first time though, he hesitated. She was confused. His hand lashed out and gripped the lasso. The rope forged by gods. It should be unbreakable. It should not be able to be resist. Yet, he lifted it off himself and tossed it to the side like it was nothing. How he lessened the grip that it had on him confused her. Your lasso is powerful, Diana, he said, as he stepped towards her, yet she knew that he wasn't about to attack. But you are more powerful than you know, he said. His eyes drifted down towards the bracelets. He just looked at them. Interesting, he said. Answer my question, she said as he turned. I'm not the bad guy here. You and the League might think I am, but while you make me your villain, I am not. Then what are you, she said. Someone who's doing the right thing. And it doesn't matter what it takes, I'll do it. I know why you're really here, Naruto said. You have questions. My actions are affecting you more than you thought. Because everyone else keep on telling you that I'm this monster. I destroyed my world, but now you have an insight on why I did what I did. And it's bothering you. It's affecting you more than you thought, and you simply can't understand why. He said, turning and looking towards her. Don't worry, he said. Soon enough you will realize that what I'm doing is correct. What I'm doing is just. Because if it is not done, soon enough, everything will fall apart. With that, he was gone, leaving her alone. Time skip. The tipping point came 48 hours after their meeting. A small nation in Eastern Europe. The ruler has governed for decades now. He was a dictator. He was corruption itself. Him and his select advisors murder countless who tried to stand against them. In a matter of minutes, him and his entire staff were taken out, as there was only one thing written: correction. Then there was a cartel in South America, trafficking women and children for organ harvesting. In a single night, they were mutilated in ways that most were finding hard to describe. Then there was a mecha corporation in Asia who was using slave laborers in hidden factories. There was no freedom. This wasn't a work, this was dictatorship. The entire board was executed in their sleep. It was rather obvious. He was going global. And unlike some people within America, most outside loved this because he was freeing them. Nations. It started to spread across the national news. He freed us. They walk like an army, praising his name. They held up banners with drawing of his faces on it. Those whisker marks and the blonde hair. He did what the Justice League could not, what the government could not. He actually saved people and protect them by ending the threat once and for all. Corporations that executed those that had information about toxic spills that kill entire communities. They started to pack up. Politicians who embezzle only for those that deserve the money to die of some illness or sickness. Those that purposely did what they did, knowing that others were suffering and yet they did not care. Warlords who kidnapped children and forced them into fighting. One by one they fell. The world watched, terrified and grateful. It was almost equal. What are the Justice League doing? Why aren't they stopping him? How can they? He's more powerful than them. He's a dictator, a murderer. He's a savior. Fighting started to break out all over as people started to campaign and praise his name like he was some sort of god, like he was their new religion. All of this, it's out of control. And he's out of control. He's killing across multiple continents, throwing the world in chaos. Evil people, murdering mass murderers, people that kidnap children and the innocent. Without trial, Superman said. John Constantine was beginning to get on his nerves. His constant whip and lash back. Because the trials don't work in places like those, Hawkgirl said, trying to make him understand. It seems like she was also greatly affected. How many times do we have to watch the same villain escape and kill once again before we admit our way is broken? Even the Flash, Superman's main allies, seem uncertain. I mean, crime is down, really down, way down. Not just in Gotham, but everywhere. That was until Batman spoke. The issue isn't whether the people he's killing deserve it. The issue is one person has made themselves judge, jury and executioner for the planet. Today it's the cartel and the dictators. Tomorrow, when there are no obvious targets, who does he judge? Us? The room went silent until Wonder Woman spoke up. He won't. They turned towards her. You met with him? Batman said, and it wasn't a question. Yes. As her teammates all looked at her, and I think he's trying to just help, in his own broken, traumatized way. Which made me believe that if we invite him here to talk, he would come. What? Superman said. Meanwhile, as Naruto was making his way, freeing a bunch of innocent in South Asia, as he just got rid of a large group, one by one as he got them across, summoning multiple clones. Whenever he exerts himself, his detection slip, his shield of detection that prevent others from finding him. That was the first time in Kansai when he dropped that same meteor on the people. By their own crushing force though. But he knew that Oa was out there. He's been doing his research on the Green Lanterns. But it wasn't just that. There was something else. Someone else more powerful. Godhood. He's gone up against gods before. And this world, this reality, like many others, gods were here and they've noticed him. It was the first time since arriving here. Naruto's eyes went beyond the Rinnegan. 1,000 years, non-stop training and consuming, Naruto was powerful. However, he needed these eyes to see them. And he saw them. His eyes completely different now. I know you're watching me, he spoke to the empty sky. I can see you. He spoke aloud, but no one responded. Meanwhile though, on Mountain Olympus, it exists outside your normal space, where beings reside that has been worshipped for millennia. Powerful, terrifying force of judgment. At its peak, there was a throne room, where the king of gods, the god of gods, sat. It was Zeus, king of Olympus. As he sat on his throne, his mere presence demanded respect and authority. It was perhaps the first time in centuries that he was focusing on power in the mortal realm. The problem was he didn't understand it. He didn't fully perceive it as it was. The surge when Naruto had split the island had reached even him. It was the first time that Naruto truly exerted his power since he arrived. But it wasn't divine, it wasn't magical, and it wasn't something that he recognized, it was something else. Husband, Hera. She materialized beside his throne, regal, beautiful, dangerous in her own right. You've been brooding for days. What troubled the king of gods? Zeus gestured as the ears shimmered in front of him. The floating image of Naruto arrived. As he gazed through the window towards the mortal realm, this one, Zeus said, his voice carrying rumble of thunder in it. Hera studied the image. The young man, seeming rather unremarkable in appearance, wearing casual clothing. A mortal? No, Zeus said. Something else. Something arrived in our reality from beyond. As they watch other Olympians start to arrive, Athena, goddess of wisdom, her eyes sharp and analyzing. Ares, the god of war, his form radiating barely, contained violence. Hermes, swift and clever. Apollo, proud and golden. Hephaestus, scarred but powerful. Artemis, wild and free. They gathered, drawn by Zeus' summon. A dimensional traveler. Athena observed. Interesting, she said. His power signature is unusual, not divine, not demonic, not magical in your traditional sense. He's been killing, Ares said, as his tone was one of approval. Warriors, criminals, leaders who have grown corrupt. Clean work. He's executed entire governments, Zeus said, splitting an island, drowning hundreds in one act. Power on that scale in the mortal realm. It is worth investigation, he said. Zeus did not like anything that he did not understand. Hermes leaned forward. He's been helping people as well, freeing slaves, saving children. The mortals are divided on whether or not he's a hero or a monster. Both, Athena said, or neither. He operates outside of the normal curriculum. Perhaps outside of ours as well. Hera had a thoughtful expression. Can you perceive his origins, husband? His history? Zeus has been trying, and that is what troubled him so. He tried to look into the boy's soul, but the only thing that he found was fog, shadows, barriers, that he, of all persons, could not penetrate. No. The word tasted like fear. He shielded in ways that I have not encountered before. Hidden not by magic, but by something else. Could he threaten Olympus? Artemis asked bluntly, as the question hung in the air. Zeus' lightning crackled in the ear. Unknown, but he has demonstrated power that shows sophisticated reshaping of elements. And he's from another reality. And I perceive that he's holding back quite a lot. But that is not all, said Zeus. As he waved his hand and they saw it. The image of Naruto looking back at them. He perceived you. Yes, Zeus said. As they all gazed towards his image. And Naruto words to the watchers. That troubled them even more. Perhaps a test should be in order. Ares said, As Naruto claimed about fighting gods, well, it was something that he would like to test. You will do no such thing, Hera said sharply. Not until we understand what we're dealing with. Zeus got up. The mere movement sent shockwave through Olympus. Lightning danced across the walls. For thousands of years, we have watched the mortal realm, guided it, protect it when necessary. The mortals worship us, pray to us, accept our place in order of things. He gestured towards Naruto. This one acknowledged no god, follow no pantheons, claim to have killed divine beings, and wield power that allow him to reshape continents. And still we do not know his full limitations. They've all seen the path that he was going down. What if he decided to judge the gods, if they were guilty as well? But Zeus wasn't afraid. He simply would like to know what he does not. That is the part that was truly bothering him. We need information, Athena said. Direct. Someone must go to the mortal realm, engage him, learn his capabilities, his intention, and his weakness. I volunteer, Iris said immediately. No, said Zeus. This requires subtlety, not warfare. We must understand before we act. Hermes raised a hand. I could approach him. I am fast enough if needed, and my gifts allow for diplomacy. Or, Athena suggested, we have someone who has had direct contact with him already. Diana, she said, Wonder Woman. She has met with him before, and from what it seems, he seemed to respect her as a warrior. She might be able to gain information we cannot. Zeus considered this. However, there was a lot that Zeus was mixed up in that he didn't want his wife to know about. There were certain things that might be revealed that he wanted to keep a secret for the safety of certain people. Perhaps, he said, not immediately shutting it down. However, following the way that this Uzumaki is moving, he seemed to possess no restraint on who he see as doing wrong. He doesn't understand this reality, and he doesn't understand us gods. His view on us may not differ than the way he see those amongst the mortals. And for that we must prepare. Prepare, they said, looking towards him. He has made it rather clear he can perceive us. He has made it rather clear he's fought and killed gods before. But we are Olympians, he said. We have ruled for millennia. We have faced titans and giants, demons and monsters. And we won't allow this simple traveler to do as he please if his actions reach us. The look in his eyes. Zeus was not someone to trifle with, a terrifying force of nature himself, as he gazed down towards the boy. After all, to him, everyone was simply a boy or a child. Time skip. Diana was trying to clear her mind as she practiced her combat form. Her movements were automatic, swift and dangerous. Her mind has been going through a lot lately. She felt it, as there was a distortion in the air. Athena appeared, the goddess of wisdom. Her grey eyes held millennia of knowledge. Her presence alone demanded respect. Wonder Woman dealt almost immediately. Goddess Athena, you honor me with your presence. Rise, Diana, she said, her voice filled with warmth and kindness. She's always been Diana patron, her guide. More than the other gods, Athena had taken a special interest in Diana. There was more than one reason for that. What brings you to the mortal realm? She questioned. It is not what, but who. Diana knew immediately. She knew this was about him, Naruto Uzumaki. Indeed, Athena said, stepping forward. The gods of Olympus are troubled by this dimensional traveler. His power is not as simple as it seemed to be. We can sense there is far more to it and to him than what he's revealed so far. Diana frowned. You fear him? We are concerned, Athena corrected. There is a difference. His coverage, to hide himself the magical abilities. His power distortion whenever he please. These are far beyond any capability for this realm. Athena said, I've tried to understand him, said Diana. He has suffered. He's done a lot and he's suffered a lot. I've tried to understand what he is and where his power come from, but he's refused to tell me. As for his intentions, Diana looked unsure. From what I've seen, his intentions might be noble. However, it is the way he goes about things. Athena said, the people who he killed, they're monsters, said Diana. Today. But what about tomorrow? That is what concerns us. How he perceived these monsters and how he judged them. Diana's eyes widened. You think he would try to judge the gods of Olympus? He perceived us watching him. And his words were simple. He's killed gods before. He was able to feel my father watching him. And my father said it himself. The king of gods could not perceive Naruto's origins. He could not tell about his past, his history. That surprised Diana. Here they thought that Naruto was just your run-of-the-mill, powerful person. But the gods. She turned her gaze fully. What would you have me do, she said. We would like you to find out about him. To establish a report. He respects you as a warrior, more than anyone else on this world. You want me to spy on him, said Diana. I want you to protect your world. If Naruto Uzumaki proved to be a threat not just to this earth, and everything beyond, we will step in to handle that threat. Diana feared those implications, but she nodded. I will do what I can. Athena smiled. I know I could count on you, she said. Time skip. Things became worse. For the guilty, for the criminals. The crime rate was dropping even more. Painted on many sections were the word corruption. Even those who had gone out of their way to hide themselves were being found. Day by day, the Justice League seemed rather irrelevant. Governments, politicians, in the US, everywhere, they were being eliminated. And no one seemed to be able to stop this person that was doing it. Diana made her way once again searching for him. And she didn't have to take long. He appeared behind her. You're looking for me again, he said. Starting to think that you enjoy our conversation, Princess, he said to her. I want to speak with you, she said. About your methods, your goals, and all of this. You're here to watch me for the Justice League, he said. It wasn't a question, it was a statement. They're concerned, as am I. More and more, the world is changing because of you. Reshaping governments. Changing the world on a global scale. At what point do you believe it would be right to stop? When the world is safe. When children are not being kidnapped and experimented on, said Naruto. When all of the tyrants and the monsters are gone. All of them. You will execute all criminals. No. Just those that are truly guilty, said Naruto. You've heard about my work, but you haven't truly seen it, have you? Show it to me then, she said. Well then, Naruto said, extending his hand. She reached out and took it. She felt his strange aura spreading over both of them, as they weren't going to remain in America. His traveling speed was insane. As the both of them were suspended in mid-air, she felt footing under her, a sign of gravity manipulation as she stood on it. They arrived towards another broken part of the world. "What do you see?" said Naruto. She saw it. The violence, the corruption. In broad daylight. What do you think is causing this? She did not know. For the last 3 years, their government has been taking all the resources and funds from other nations who just seek to help, framing it like they were helping, but this is a reality. "You see this city right here," said Naruto. "This is a reality of what the people live in, but up there," he pointed, as she saw a better one. "They look rich and well put together. That is what they show the public. Do you have any idea how much children die? How much innocent people, how much mother and father die, giving up their last food, water for their kids to ensure that they survive?" "Before I act, I do my research," said Naruto. "And since the change in government, the rise in death toll has been by 40%. And it's growing day by day. And that is why I do what I do. And now, they landed down on one of the nearby buildings. Wouldn't want to get the Justice League involved. Stay here," he said. Diana stood there and watched. It was brutal, efficient. She could do something, she could stop him, but she watched. She watched as the people cheered as they saw him. She watched as they cheered as he tear the building apart. As he reconstruct the hall, using debris and the stone to crush all the government members. But he did not kill everyone though. You had those that were trying to fight for their people. She understood now what he said about his research. He learned who are the innocent and who are the guilty. He doesn't just kill everyone. She wanted to condemn what he was doing. She wanted to say there was another way. But as she watched him ending a conflict that was going on for years now, something that the Justice League could never touch or never step into, she found herself understanding him. And that part of her worried her because of the ideals that she's come to accept and being a part of the Justice League. It wasn't just one though. It was several. And each time, he gave her the option to stay back to not get herself involved. And she never tried to stop him, she simply watched. By the time they returned, it was getting dark. "Do you understand now?" said Naruto. "I understand you believe that you're helping," she said, choosing her words very carefully. "I understand that your methods gain quick result. I understand that you're making yourself judge, jury, and executioner for the world. Because someone has to," said Naruto. "Because the League, the UN, special part of the government, they will not." Diana was quiet. Before she looked up, "The League will negotiate to come to a compromise. They're willing to talk." Naruto's expression was skeptical. "Is that so?" "I told them that you would listen. If they approach in good faith." "Did you now?" said Naruto. "And did they believe you?" She was quiet for a while. "They want me to understand, don't they?" said Naruto. "That I'm doing things the wrong way. But why would I change my way if I'm seeing results?" She knew that she was not getting through. "Fine. I'll have a chat with them," said Naruto. She was surprised. "But first, tell me who sent you here." What?" "I can see it. The magic surrounding you," Naruto said, stepping closer. "Not magic exactly. Divine energy. Someone you spoke to recently. Someone with powers beyond this world. Were they the ones that sent you to watch me? They were, didn't they? She tried to keep her expression calm. I don't know what you're talking about. Do not lie to me. Since we've started to meet up, I haven't lied to you. Naruto said, his eyes looking into hers. I can perceive the divine energy. The one that is coming from you, and the one that is still on you. She blinked confused. Coming from me? Tell me, do you speak to the gods? Naruto questioned. The ones that have been watching me. Are you their spy now? No, it's not like that, she said. They're worried because of you. Because you're stepping out of line. I am, Naruto said. And they're worried. He looked rather amused by his actions and his words. You don't understand what that means, she said. For them to take this interest in you means very bad things. Especially for your safety. Well, aren't you worried as well? You speak like you're not one of them. What? You're one of them, said Naruto. Half Amazon, half God. A demigod. I sensed it the first time I met you. She shook her head. You're mistaken. I was formed from clay. Blessed with magic and power of a god. Naruto cut her off. You don't know. They never told you the truth. What truth? She said. Naruto looked at her bracelets. His gaze fixated on them. These aren't just symbols. They're seals. Holding your power back. Keeping you contained. No, that's not truth. Well then, let me show you. His hand lashed out and gripped the bracelets. Power that was not just his own. An ability to fundamentally break things down. The bracelets that were forged by Hephaestus himself. Designed to be unbreakable. Seals by divine power crack. In a special way. Releasing her true power. Her true nature. Diana felt it. However, the amount of power needed to crack the bracelet, released by Naruto, also sent the entire universe into a frenzy. It was like a beacon spreading across the planet and extending. On Oa, the Guardians snapped their gaze up. Even the Watchtower felt the energy spike. Their charts unable to properly understand it. However, the greatest threat and problem was with the gods. Zeus' eyes snapped open. Hera, his wife. She felt it. She felt his blood. Meanwhile, Diana felt the power. It was like being unmade and remade at the same time. However, when Naruto released it, the bracelets reforged themselves back together. As she fell down to her knees, she looked up with shock. What was that? That is what they've been hiding away from you. You're not clay given life. You're Diana. You are the daughter of that watcher, said Naruto. Your power feels so similar to his. Diana instantly understood. Zeus? She said. Zeus. So that's his name, Naruto said. My mother, she lied to you. Or was forced to lie, I don't know what. Naruto said, looking at her. However, there was another big argument going on. You slept with her, Hera said. With the Amazon. Zeus remained in a defensive posture. For all of his power, for being the king of gods, he knew his wife was capable of a lot. Hera, don't, she said, cut him off. Don't insult me with your excuses. I felt it. That surge, your blood. She's your daughter. All this time, all these years. Another bastard. Another betrayal. The child was meant to be hidden, Zeus said. He tried. Athena knew? Her fury grew even more. Your daughter helped you hide her away from me. Athena materialized, knowing that this was bad. Stepmother, please. I don't care about your reasons. You will always take his side. Always protect his infidelities. Well, no more. She immediately teleported away. You have to stop her. Athena said, the Amazons are under our protection. Diana is innocent. I can't. Zeus admitted, not without declaring war on my own wife. Not without shattering Olympus. Once awakened, her fury is beyond my control. Athena looked troubled, as she also made her way off as well, as Zeus stand there. Meanwhile, Diana returned back home to speak with her mother, to learn the truth. She wanted to know. As she sat down with Hippolyta, I need to know the truth about my birth, about who I really am. Hippolyta was quiet. She knew she felt it. Tell me, was I really not formed from clay? Is Zeus my father? Diana, just tell me, mother. Hippolyta closed her eyes. Oh, my daughter, she said. I'm so sorry. I wanted to tell you. I wanted to tell you since you were old enough to understand, but I couldn't. The risk. What risk? What are you talking about, mother? Hippolyta knew there was no going back now. You're not formed from clay, Diana. You were. That was a lie. It was a lie meant to protect you. To protect all of us. So, I am, yes. You are the daughter of myself and Zeus, the king of gods. Diana took a moment, trying to understand those words coming from her mother's lips. She knew already, from the moment Naruto weakened the bracelets. However, hearing it from her own mother troubled her gravely. Unfortunately though, screams could be heard on the outside. The both of them made their way as they arrived to see statues, but those were no normal statues. Those were Amazons who were turned into stone. The queen of gods, divine and powerful. Hello, Hippolyta. Hera said. Her voice alone, you could tell that she was pissed. We need to have a discussion about your daughter. The Amazon guards tried to step up, but Hippolyta knew they stood no chance. As Hera turned them into stone, Goddess Hera, the queen said, trying to keep her voice steady, please, whatever wrong has been committed, whatever wrong? Hera laughed. You seduced my husband, bore his child, and hide the truth for decades. And you speak, whatever wrong? I would say that is not a simple wrong. Diana looked towards her. So, this is Zeus' bastard. How quaint, she said. Diana could feel the wrath coming from this woman. So I am his daughter. Congratulations, Hera said, hearing her quiet words. You're one of the hundreds of bastards that has bore from that man. Though I must say, he usually has better taste. But none of it matters. Because without my authority, none of you deserve to exist. They prepare themselves to fight despite knowing that it was a losing battle. As the goddess raised her hand, I apologize, but I can't allow you to do that. Hera was shocked. Someone dear to hold her like this, as Naruto was holding on to her wrists, feeling the divine power coursing through her. She turned, gazing towards him. I've grown rather interested in this one. Not to mention you're here because of me, he said. But sooner or later you would have come. So I suppose this is quite fitting, Naruto said. I can't allow you to kill her. You dare lay your hand on me. You insignificant worm. Hippolyta turned and thrust her other hand, striking Naruto in the chest. Immediately, his body started to turn to stone. The next moment, he was completely frozen as a statue. Diana's eyes went wide, feeling this unexplained pain in her heart and rage as well. She drew for her sword. However, as Hippolyta turned towards her, don't you fear. Your existence will be much worse. Crack. Hippolyta turned. Diana. Hera. Crack. Then boom. Naruto exploded out of the stone. Stepping out and dusting himself off, his Rinnegan on full display. I must say, it was just as I thought. The divine power here is different. Rather exotic, he said. But I got what I need, so I won't let you do that again. Let me? Hera said towards him. Yes, let you. I told you that I won't allow you to kill her, and I know you've been watching me. I've come across people like you before. Those who fear the unknown. Those who are terrified to know that there are others out there stronger than them. Stronger, Hera said. People like you that wish to strike down anything that would be a remote threat to them. But as I said before, I have killed gods and all sorts of things. And if you think I'm just another pushover that you can simply toss around or do with what you please, well, I'm about to burst that little bubble of yours. So why don't you try that again? So I can see how does a god of this world dies. But guys, if you end subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm out for now. Peace.